Hi everyone, welcome back to another Fresh Look Friday. I'm Miss Lora from the Lakeville District Library, and today's books are all middle grade novels, and they are all books that you will probably like if you liked The One and Only Ivan by Kathryn Appelt. They're all animal fiction stories. They either are told from an animal's perspective or they are about animals. So there's different aspects of these that you will like if you really enjoyed One and Only Ivan or One and Only Bob, which are some of my favorite books. So we're going to start with this one. This is called Hoot by Carl Hiaasen. If you have never read a Carl Hiaasen book, I highly recommend them. They're usually all about animals. They are funny, they're quirky, they're ridiculous, over the top. They usually have some sort of environmentalist, conservationist skew. Hoot is this one. It has been made into a movie, but the book is way, way better. So even if you've seen the movie and haven't read the book, take some time, read the book. Roy is our main character, and he has recently moved to Florida. That's the other thing about Carl Hiaasen books. They're all in Florida. And he hates Florida. Roy hates Florida. It is the worst. He doesn't like it at all. He moves around a lot, so he's used to being the new kid at school. A bully is the same no matter where you are. And one day he's getting bullied on the bus and his face is getting smushed against the glass on the bus window, and he sees a boy running away. This boy doesn't have a backpack, doesn't have any books. Where's this boy coming from? The weirdest thing, the boy has no shoes. So Roy needs to investigate. And he does. He follows this mystery. He follows the boy to figure out what is going on. And he ends up encountering lots of wildlife, lots of crazy characters. And the best wildlife are these burrowing owls, hence Hoot. If you don't know anything about burrowing owls, I definitely look them up. They're these cute little owls and they burrow underground. Well, the plot takes a turn when there's a developer that wants to develop this land that is the burrowing owls' habitat. So Roy gets together with some people to try and prevent this from happening. Hoot by Carl Hiaasen. Next, we have Pie. Now, if you love pie, you're going to love this book, but be prepared, you're going to want to eat pie as you're reading this book. Just that disclaimer, right? So Pie by Sarah Weeks. Alice is our main character. Her aunt has passed away, her Aunt Polly, and Aunt Polly is known for having the best pie crust recipe, top secret. No one knows it, it's the best. And when she passes away, she leaves in her will the recipe to her cat. Lardo. And everyone is like, what? How are we supposed to get the recipe if it's to this cat Lardo? And then in the will, she also leaves the cat Lardo to Alice. So now Alice needs to figure out what this recipe is. The town is going crazy. There's a pie contest. Everybody wants to know this recipe. It's a cool mystery. It's heartwarming. If you like cats, if you like pie, definitely check out Pie by Sarah Weeks. Then we have The Secret of Glendunny, The Haunting by Kathryn Lasky. So Kathryn Lasky writes a lot of animal books. These books are told almost entirely, this book is told almost entirely from animals' perspectives. There's very few humans or two legs, as she calls them. This is the first in the series. The Haunting is book one. It's got like a little spook factor, which you can kind of get from the title, The Haunting. And this book is about beavers. So I never thought I would really enjoy a book about beavers, but I really enjoyed this book. Beavers are the main characters. And then we have a swan, Elsinore, who is like the beaver, like she watches over the beavers. This takes place in a pond, Glendunny. It's a very secret place. It also takes place in Scotland, and beavers have not been seen by humans in over 500 years. Our main character, Dunwaddle, is a child beaver, and he is accidentally seen by a two-leg or a human because he is running away from a ghost. I mean, I would run away from a ghost if I saw one, I'm pretty sure. So he's running away. He accidentally gets seen by a human. Chaos breaks out, right? Because they haven't been seen for 500 years. What are they going to do? Their secret Glendunny is no longer a secret. What's going to happen to to Dunwaddle? Well, his best friend Loxley decides to help him. The two of them, along with Elsinore and another beaver named Rin, try and find these ghosts, see if the ghosts will help them. And they don't, it's just a cool, twisty, turny mystery. And a side note, I listened to this on audiobook. It was fabulous because the cool Scottish and English accents were really well done. So The Haunting by The Secret of Glendunny. Then we have Once Upon a Camel by Kathi Appelt. This is a newer one. It's got a lot of cool illustrations in it. Let me show you some. Here's, see, isn't that cool? So again, I never thought I would enjoy a book about a camel, but this is told by a camel. So similar to the one and only Ivan, how it's told by animals, this is told by Zada. She is our camel. She once was a very prestigious racing camel. And throughout this story, you learn about her life and you learn about how she crosses the Atlantic Ocean, like in that picture that I showed you, and figure out what happened, how she lost her family, how she is surviving. This takes place in the early 1900s in Texas. And the story starts with a big giant dust storm. So Zada takes these two little tiny kestrel chicks and tries to save them from this dust storm, this massive dust storm that blocks out the sky. And while she's saving them, she tells them stories of her life, which is a very elaborate, long-lived life of a camel, things that you would never guess that she did. I didn't know camels were racing camels. They are. They do. They race them just like horses. So I learned a lot about camels. It was a wonderful story about friendship and family and survival. It was very heartwarming, and I really, really enjoyed the illustrations. They just added a little bit to the story that, you know, it was just a nice break. Gave you your imagination something to go with. So Once Upon a Camel. Finally, this was my favorite one I read for you this month. This is called Better with Butter. Oh, I just can't tell you how much I enjoyed this story. If you loved One and Only Ivan, you will love Better with Butter. However, this is told from a child's perspective, not the animal's perspective. Marvel is a 6th grader, and she has severe anxiety. She gets so sick, her stomach gets sick, she doesn't like going to school, she worries all the time, she's on medication, but it's hard for her to deal with. And her assignment is to get up in front of the whole school and give this speech. And she's practiced it and practiced it and practiced it, and she's ready. But she gets up on the stage and she freezes, completely freezes. Her legs won't work. She can't move or anything. And her principal has to come and pick her up and carry her off the stage. That's how bad her stage fright was. She's devastated, embarrassed. She cannot handle it. She does not know what to do. Well, she ends up going home sick that day. And as she's walking home, she sees these bigger kids, these 8th graders, all around, bunched up in a circle. And she walks over there and she sees there's this little tiny baby goat, the size of a puppy. That's how small it is. And it's a fainting goat, meaning that when that goat gets scared, she faints. And these 8th graders are being bullies and they're screaming at it to try and get it to faint. And Marvel is having none of this. She ends up rescuing that goat, and she finds out the goat has a little collar on, and the collar says Butter. So she knows this little goat's name is Butter, and she takes Butter home with her. She tries to create an enclosure for her in her backyard. And as you can guess, her mom is probably not very happy that she brings a goat home. Also, Butter belongs to someone. She has a collar, but Marvel does not care. Butter is hers now. Butter makes her feel better. She does a lot of research into figuring out how she can keep Butter and how Butter will help her, and Butter will be an emotional support animal and help her with her anxiety. So this is a story about Marvel campaigning and trying really hard to keep Butter and make Butter her own and bring Butter to school, and how Butter changes everything and makes everything better, not just for her, but her family. And maybe she might even make some friends. So Better with Butter. That's what I have for you today. I hope you found something that you would like to pick up and read. All of these are available. Also, most of them are available on Libby or a digital format. So if you would like to check those out that way, I will see you next time. Bye.